From a very early on age, we learn that words are very important. Probably the nicest word, the one single word that everybody likes to hear, whether we are a child or whether we are an adult, is the sound of our name. And that is because our parents chose that name. It's a gift that we are given, is the sound of our name. And to be called by name is something so important because it says, wow, I am important. So to call someone, to remember someone's name, it makes them feel that they are respected. And God knows our name as well. He writes our name like the stars in the sky. As one of the scriptures tells us, our names are written in heaven. What a beautiful thought. 3 words we learn from a very early on age because we receive the gift of family life and comfort and nourishment. 3 simple words that everybody likes to put together and that we say a lot, sometimes we overuse it, is very simply to say, I love you. A lot of people, they know those words together, I love you. And that's beautiful to be told that you are loved. Boys and girls, I'm sure you like to be told you are loved. And what do you say back to mom and dad? You say, I love you too. It's a wonderful thing to say back because when a couple, for instance, is dating, and this weekend I had 3 weddings, so love is in the air quite a bit. I'm going to tell you that when a couple is dating, an extremely milestone moment is when one says to the other, I love you. And I always ask the couples, when did that happen? And did the other person say it back? And sometimes they don't. Sometimes one is very afraid to say it because they're afraid they might not hear it back. 3 other words that are very good to say together, because if we're going to tell someone, I love you, and that they are loved, 3 words a little simpler is to simply say, how are you? How often in a conversation with someone, or you just meet somebody and they just go on and on and on, yak, yak, yak about themselves, but did they stop and ask, how are you? How are you doing? 3 words, very important. 2 words that are great to put together, and again, boys and girls, I'm sure that your parents have taught you this. What do you think are 2 words that are so important to put together? When someone does something nice for you, what are you supposed to say back?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that correctly. That's a wonderful thing. So exactly. Thank you. It's a beautiful thing to say, to have gratitude for all that we have received, for a kind act, for something that has been done that is good. You know, God likes to hear thank you also. And our scriptures today speak to us about giving God thanks. Not just on a surface level, though, but even a little bit deeper. Because when we come into his presence with praise and thanksgiving, he comes into our circumstances with power. When we come into his presence with praise and thanksgiving, he comes into our circumstances with power. That happened with Naaman the Syrian. Short story here, because we only get a few verses here from 2 Kings. But in our first reading today, we hear about Naaman, who is a foreigner to the Israelites. And he goes there to Israel. He's kind of at odds with the people. And then he goes back to Syria, and he's sick. He has leprosy. We don't know a whole lot about leprosy today. It's a little much more rare, but it's a disease of the skin. And so for Naaman, he went back to Syria, and by chance, his wife had a maidservant who was an Israelite woman. She was from Israel. She was of the Hebrew people. And she said to her boss, to her master, her mistress, why don't you tell your husband to go see Elisha the prophet? And Elisha the prophet is going to heal him. Now, Naaman is a foreigner. He worshiped gods that were pagan, that didn't exist. And so he doesn't really believe this, but then he's convinced to go and to do it. So he goes down to Israel, and he goes with money and a fortune because he wants to think that, well, money will buy me everything. And he goes down there to Israel, and he goes to Elisha, and Elisha says, Naaman, you need to go and dip yourself into the Jordan River 7 times. Now think about this. Isn't this beautiful? The Jordan River baptism, like hundreds of years later happened. And also 7 times. What a beautiful biblical number. There's 7 sacraments. But let's kind of think. So the Old Testament holds a beautiful treasure of what's to come. So Naaman looks at Elisha and says, you got to be kidding me. That river is dirty. If you've ever been there to Israel, the Jordan River, it's muddy. It was muddy at the time that Jesus was there. And Naaman said, it's demeaning to me. I can go back to Syria where the water's clean. I'm not going in that river. But then he had a change of heart and he said, okay, fine, I'll go and I'll do it. He went into the river, he came up, and he was healed of his leprosy. So Elisha was a mouthpiece for God there for Naaman. And so Naaman goes back to Elisha and says, I want to thank you. This is our reading today. Elisha says, no, I don't need to be thanked. Because Elisha was a man of God, and he said, I didn't do it, God did. God did. It didn't come from me. So Naaman says, well, I'm going to go ahead, and I'd like to take 2 mule loads, 2 wheelbarrows of dirt from Israel back to Syria with me, so I can build an altar and put that dirt on the foundation, and then I can give praise to this God of Israel who has healed me, and I'll forget all my pagan gods. Hold that thought about the dirt. The gospel reading has 10 men. They're all lepers, and it's quite the mix. It was 9 Jewish, 9 Hebrew, and 1 Samaritan. It's amazing how affliction can bring people together. But in this particular case, they go and they become healed. They do what they're told to do, but only one goes back to Jesus to say, the glory of God has healed me. And Jesus said, where are the other 9? How come they didn't give thanks? Notice it was that one who was the foreigner again, the one who worshiped pagan gods, who was not respected. That is the one who goes to Jesus and says, your God has healed me, and I am grateful. You know what's sad here? What's sad is, Jesus wasn't really looking. Jesus wasn't really looking to be thanked. Jesus didn't come to teach us etiquette and to be nice. Jesus taught us how to be Christian and how to be disciples. What's sad here, and what's really a shame, is that only the one man, the Samaritan, had Jesus tell him, your faith has healed you. Go, have a new life. How sad. The other 9, guess what? They had a new lease on an old life. But that one man, because he went back to Jesus, he went and visited with Jesus, he didn't just have a new lease on an old life, he had a new life. His life was changed, not just physically, but spiritually. So let's think about what we do here at Mass and get back to the dirt. Because Naaman took the dirt to go and build an altar so he could give thanks to the God of Israel for being healed. Folks, what do we do when we come here to Mass? We come here to be able to spend time with God, to give thanks at the altar. To give thanks at this altar, which has also been dedicated, because Eucharist in Greek, and the seminarians are much smarter than I in academics, they probably know this a lot better than I, but somehow or another it translates into Greek, into thanksgiving. Eucharist goes to thanksgiving. That's what it means. And so when we think about what we do here at Mass, we are coming here to give thanks. Not so that we can have a new lease on our old life, but so that we can have a new life in God every week. And I know, boys and girls, and I'm sure there might be a few adults in the crowd as well, who sometimes you say, well, I don't know if I want to go to Mass today. It's kind of boring. I don't get anything out of it. Guess what? We're not here to get something. What does Eucharist mean? It means to give. We are not here to get, we are here to receive, to give. We are here to give to God thanksgiving for the blessings He has bestowed upon us in these past days. To be able to share in the body and blood of Christ. Again, simple elements here at this altar of thanksgiving to our God. To give thanks. The scriptures today tell us, do not be afraid to say thank you to God, not just because of the surface things, but because He changes our hearts, because He gives us new life, because He saves us. Remember, we come to Mass to give thanks. We come here, and when we present ourselves to God with praise and thanksgiving, He comes into our circumstances with power. Today, very simply, to our God, we say thank you.